Oh, okay. This is a conscious mind conversation. If you don't want to listen, we will be doing. I will be doing channeling as well. But if you're not interested in these kind of sessions, you don't want to be the fly on the wall, listening to Erin and myself sharing, laughing, and finding out more stuff behind the scenes. Feel free to say goodbye and enjoy your day.
Bye.
Yeah, and that's all fine. Like, not everyone wants to listen, and we're not holding anyone forcibly, against their will to listen to this information. Or just like we can't force anyone to grow from this information. So it is what it is. Right now, Erin and I, we've got this very rare opportunity to once again catch up with each other before our money duties press us to do other things. And we've got we've got other responsibilities that we have to still work around in the 3D. So we're busy, we're doing stuff, but want to catch up with each other because I have this interesting feeling that they want us to catch up with them, connect up with them for some reason. And I mean, God, it'd be embarrassing if it was just like personal bullshit. Like, yes, Joe, your laundry problem is affecting humanity.
You should stop doing so many dishes.
Imagine that. Imagine if they were like, actually, yes, the reason why humanity hasn't sorted its shit out, Joe, is because of the clutter of your laundry. And that is actually a representation of, yeah, how it needs to be actually addressed and acknowledged and put away.
Could happen. I mean, you never know how it's going to go.
Well, for those people who fully believe that we're the creators of our realities, yeah, like that should be. I would love to have a conversation with someone who fully believes that they create their reality because from my perspective, it seems like, yes, we create our reality in terms of our mindsets and our emotions. If we feel victimized, yes, the whole world will look like it's coming to get us. But you cannot create other people from within your reality. And so I really would love to talk to someone who is very firm with that. We create our own reality. No, Gaia's not doing anything that we say she's not. Life is fantastic here and I'm the master of the universe. I would love to have a conversation with someone about that because I want to be able to really understand that more because I've got lots of questions for them.
I don't see that argument being thrown out too much nowadays.
Ah,
Getting pretty quiet over there.
hmm.
And I don't say that as in hee hee hee. I mean, but like, come on, guys, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So, as some people are suspecting now, that there is lots of sessions that happen behind the scenes to be able to figure out what is the most appropriate moving forward. And when you listen to the sessions that are public in the order that they've been given, it is like reading a dear diary journal of the next chapter of information they want from us and sorry, want for us to know and grow from. And for quite a while, we've sort of felt like they were giving us the same information over and over and over and over again, and it wasn't advancing, in my opinion. Sort of more details. And I kept wondering why. And what they said was the majority of people still listening was still holding on to their 3D baggage. They were wanting the advanced information, but they weren't willing to actually do and apply the session information. And so it was kind of like holding up the group in some regards. And so it's not me not wanting the biggest, fullest information for us all to listen to because I want that. I think I want stuff and they know what we need. And so, it's kind of confusing why there was this pause of information. And so, we now are getting, again, big information. It feels like we are all leaping in bigger steps forward, which is really exciting. Of course, it's challenging for those people who are not ready to take those bigger steps because, they're not, they're still holding on to some of their 3D stuff and still processing it. So, and that's fine because there's heaps of sessions there for you to like unpack and process and apply. So it's very interesting, very, very, very interesting. And it's incredible behind the scenes when we are asking the collectives for help for certain people and certain areas to see the change, to see the growth, to see it all starting to look really good, really exciting. Oh my gosh, I feel like November, hello, you are already looking freaking amazing.
Hmm. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of change with people. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like, pinch ourselves. We're dreaming because these people that we may have considered, too toxic or too dense or too negative or too in their own worlds, are looking like they're owning their shit and really empowering themselves forward, being honest and open. Like, holy crap, this is like a dream. I must be within a dream within a dream.
Oh, it's so amazing. Yeah, I feel like this is my story time. So personally, I know this person. It's been a very challenging relationship, truthfully, that I just wrote off because I was just like, well, that's not going to happen. And I got a heads up from my subconscious in a dream that she would be reaching out, um, and to know what's going on with her behind the scenes as well. And uh, I got the most poetic and self-reflective and honest and humble apology that I never expected to get. And it was a 360-degree turn that I saw in this person. And well, honestly, I'm like equally shocked and proud. And I'm luckily a big girl, so I was able to be like, hey, it's all good. Let's, leave the past behind us. Thank you, forgive you. Let's move forward. Anyway, but then she sent up a follow text saying, like, thank you so much. Like, I feel like the weight of the world has been like lifted off my shoulders. This has been weighing on me really heavy for a long time now, but I was too embarrassed to even apologize to you. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Oh, that's fantastic. Like, to have that, any sort of 3D drama weight off your shoulders. Like, anyway, so I'm just like, I'm just so excited and proud. And I feel like it's kind of symbolic. Like, that must be happening with like a lot of people. And I just want to make a point that if you're listening to this, you have the higher perspective, and it is your responsibility and duty to be the light worker that you want to look up to. So if that includes being a bigger person and, moving on, and that's what you have to do right now.
Of course, those people who are, really hurt and struggling with 3D, they look very prickly and very heavy and hard. Like we all have, we've all experienced someone that we just have sort of thought, ugh, it's actually quite toxic. And in your situation, it was quite toxic because she was really out to kind of get you. And I love the fact that she even acknowledged that. Like she had such a personal problem with herself that she was projecting her own crap onto you. And so, like, fully, and like, whew, it's such a mature approach from her. And you were like, oh my God, no, my subconscious has said this woman's going to come back into my life. No, thank you.
I was like, shit, I've got to be a light worker. Ugh.
Yeah, like anyone else, please. Yeah, not interested. Wrong number. And the fact is that before she even reached you, you had done all your work to step up and be like, I am of service. And I sort of said, change it around. Maybe she's got a full walk-in situation and she's a new person. And then you were like, whoa, that's...
It's totally possible. So I don't know. I'm open to it. That's for sure.
Well, from that message, it looks like she possibly has. But, even if she hasn't, we've got to change our perspective of they're not that person anymore. We can't judge them for when they were in their deepest, darkest and reacting and being really, we know all this stuff. So it's about applying it. And I think because you already accepted your position and you were prepared to even be there for her, even if she was that feral person. And you already were like, okay, this is my test. I'm not going to lose my balance over this. I'm still going to love her. You prepared yourself for the most biggest challenge of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Because you already had done the inner work to get to that point, the universe wasn't needing you to actually then physically and literally to do that, because you'd already had done it. Like, what am I saying here? You'd already prepared yourself to master it. You did master it because you already knew the steps you're going to take. And because you did that, in my opinion, you don't actually need to do it because you've already mastered that component of it.
Yeah. It was just, one of those moments where honestly, I don't know, it felt more symbolic. Like, I feel like this is not just like one difficult relationship in Aaron's life. I mean, this must be happening to a lot of people, and it just felt like a really big step forward in a symbolic way.
Well, we send so much healing. I mean, it's not just us, obviously. The collectives are sending so much healing energy to all. And we have, we know that the water is infused with love. Even if you forget to fuse your own water with love, someone else has done it for you. There's so much help now. You would have to be, I don't know, of course we use our free will, and most people, refuse to accept love in various forms because they're still working on loving themselves. And so, it's almost impossible to escape love. It's going to get you. It's like a threat, isn't it? Watch out. Love. It's coming for you. You can't escape
I know. It's so exciting. Oh, I've got two other stories with two different people. I'm just so proud. One of them is an influencer that we called in a private session where we called in different influencers. And I watched one of his videos today. He's a new man. I am so proud. Wow, so proud. He is enthusiastic. He has publicly committed to telling the truth. He did caveats that he won't be releasing the entire truth, which are valid. But it's when I was looking at it, I was like, he seems really focused. He seems really on purpose. He seems guided. And I am so excited that he's committed to releasing the truth, and the heck with the rest of the truthers. He's on the right path, and I was just so happy and so proud.
So from Sally's session, the collectives asked, all the collectives were brought in and asked, can we release those who are sticking to people who are holding them back with the truth and selling them fear. And so that was sent out as a calling and a message to all of the collectives to do that. And then the next morning, some of the collectives came sort of running back and were really flustered and struggling because some of these influences have blocked them out. They're not listening. They're not listening to their intuition. They're going off on ego, and they're really struggling. And the collectives were heartbroken. It was a really interesting experience. That was a very intensive day, I have to say, where not only were the collectives who were helping guide these influences struggling, the people who the guides and collectives who were managing and supporting those who were being influenced by the influencers. It was like there was many discussions of, the collective saying, the guides saying, we're trying to do our job, and your influencer that you're managing screwing this all up for us. And then the guides for that influencer were like, they're blocking us out. What more can we do? And it was like suddenly a lot of these, these guides were realizing, that they kind of were stuck. They had these problems. And, it's really interesting. We assume that they've got it all going on because they're high dimensional beings, but they're actually got problems because they're dealing with three-dimensional beings, which are very challenging and using their free will for all sorts of nonsense, with much love. So yeah, really unruly and really difficult to kind of support and manage and guide, given that they know what the 3D people need to experience and what their actual life purposes are. And so when you're off track, it's hard. It's very hard. And so very strange to think that we're going to have to call in conscious living people, because normally we can call in conscious people who've lived in history, quotation marks history, and called them in and to talk to their conscious minds. We've done it heaps before, but haven't done it as much for those living. We have done it, like called in. No, I think it's usually when, like, if we're going to, talk to someone's husband, we'd talk to their subconscious, not. But then we've done it recently with Elon, but then he was not allowed to learn information, so they kind of blocked him off. He kind of knew that there was a conversation going on, but he didn't know the context of it. This private session was a big difference, because all those people that were brought in consciously, they were made to recall it. Sometimes we have lots of different dreams, and some of them were allowed to recall because it's got significance. Well, this epiphany or whatever they experienced, they all remember it, which must be a bit confusing for them, especially the ones that are struggling to see that they're doing anything wrong. And it's not right or wrong, but it's just their teams know that they are very capable of being really fantastically empowering humanity, and they want them to be that. And so, sometimes we block ourselves, and it's not for our best good. So much to say.
Absolutely. And shout out to you. Joe literally helped remove their blocks. They had blocks for different reasons because they're human, just like the rest of us are. She was able to literally assist them with processing those emotions and identifying the block and removing it. And it was really beautiful also to hear, their conscious mind, commit. Not so beautiful when they didn't commit, the ones who didn't, but beautiful the ones who did commit, and because it was so sincere and so beautiful. And anyway, it was fantastic, very, very moving. And to see the tangible evidence of change today, I'm just so proud. I'm just so happy.
That's the excitement that I have. I haven't listened to that session. I just remember, I vaguely remember experiencing it and being really surprised how much emotions I had, because it was kind of like some of them were so lost to be held in this space, and to then have the energy of their guides and their collectives loving them and really wanting their attention, without them distracting them. It was kind of like, it was very surreal, very surreal. And I am so excited for you, Erin, because I know you made that list of people and you are still sort of watching them. And what fantastic. Not only have you seen your family members and friends sort of evolve and change after we've been doing these sessions, because what we've asked in your private sessions to help those family members, and to see them suddenly having these big...
so amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So amazing. I'm so proud. And I have another story, if you don't mind. It's gonna be an epic day. I have a little sister who I love and adore. She's had some traumatic earth lives, and she is having an Akashic records reading with Kitty today. And it's gonna be amazing. I had an Akashic record reading with Kitty, yesterday? Mind blown. Anyway, I am so excited for the growth that she'll be experiencing with that session. And I'm seeing it with other family members. I mean, lots of trips to the bathroom, I got some stomach pain. I'm like, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Like, valid. But anyway, I'm just so excited all around. So excited and so proud.
That's amazing. I mean, I adore Kitty. We all adore Kitty, and she's been on this big journey for a while, and having these sessions really kind of gave her the confidence and the best reconnections to herself. They've activated her, and it's incredible. And you know what, like, she is so genuine. She's so real. She's so ridiculously talented and connected and wise. And oh my God, like, she's the real deal. And when we've done the private sessions and you hear her subconscious saying this, they don't just toot our horns just because, we need a boost. They're serious. She's incredible. And, she has gone on this huge journey, and she's already accepted the information from the laser event, like knowing your exit point and respecting it and the purpose and seeing it from the bigger perspective. She has packed up her 3D crap. She's put it away in her lessons, and now she's wanting to be of service. And I just think this is exactly what all clients should be able to do, right? Is really step into that wisdom, that power, gain all of your wisdom again from all the other skill sets that you have collected in all your other lifetimes. And she is now profoundly of service, and it gives me, just so much joy. I
know, it's amazing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then the new information we heard about with the planet being able to be repurposed, holy heck, this gives me so much joy. I don't know if people got confused. I know some people messaged me like, oh my God, are we not shifting now? What does this mean? And so we'll consciously explain it for those people who are still panicking or worried about it. So yes, we are still shifting, and this planet is still too toxic for us to really live in. And we know that Gaia's soul is mostly receded. There is a little essence still here. So we're not on the old earth time, what we would call the old earth. And so, we're still here. We're still trying to enjoy our days and to keep balanced and be excited to see all the growth and changes of our friends who have finally been able to release all the trauma that no longer serves them. And so yeah, Gaia is still, there's still a small little essence of her that's keeping things kind of status quo-y. And then when we all shift, then what will happen, from according to quite a few sessions now, is that the planet will basically be removed from this location to another location, which is going to be then worked on, and kind of, I don't know whether it's going to be stripped down. Oh, this is what they want us to ask, Erin, the inner earth people.
Okay.
Yeah. And so anyway, okay, so when people see the lights and the explosion and then implosion of the earth, that is it, like being warp speeded to its new location. So that's what they're being shown. And so that's my understanding of it, is that it is not exploding and being destroyed anymore. It actually is then being taken into a safe location where it can't do any damage, because it's, I want to sort of say, from our terminology, it's almost like radioactive. It's so toxic and dense and a real problem. And so it needs to be removed from this location, and then it's going to be worked on, and it's going to take a very, very, very long time, quotation marks. And then it's going to be put at a state where it can be reseeded again with different beings for future experiences. And I had this extraordinary session with a creator of this world, and you heard it as a project. And this is her mastering, and her teams are mastering how to create life, 3D life, and have it sustainable and balanced and create these worlds for experiences. And now she is living this experience, in quotation marks, enjoying her life here and learning about the 3D planet and what she's created, and all of the complexities to it. She's an incredible professional person, in an incredible profession, and she is definitely a gift to humanity. And for her to have this personal experience of what she is physically going through in this lifetime is very significant to her subconscious higher self, who's doing this project. So very interesting sessions coming out privately, which then we aim to do these sessions privately, and then it's kind of obvious afterwards that the subconscious and the collectives are like nudging us like, that's for public, that's for so it's like, oh,
Love it.
wasn't just a private personal thing for the client to explore then. Oh, and I'm still waiting on I don't want to sort of bombard everyone with too many sessions, so I'm still saving the good subconscious of part 2 of that incredible session where we went on a journey, my friend. My goodness, anyone thinking, oh, I think I want to stay on old Earth to see what it's like, well, just listen to that session. You have the full picture there.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you're holding out on us still. We want it now.
I'm just keeping
That
everyone
was
excited.
awesome.
Well, I mean, there's
What
so
a
many,
tease.
there's huge sessions that have just like fallen out into public hands, and I love that for everyone. Like just connecting into so many people have got really they've picked up the courage to message me and shared their journey, and it's so extraordinary, exciting. I love this. I can't stop smiling. And when Gaia shifted, when she really released herself to go into that peace, and she was that was really hard. That was a really hard time because she was in so much agony and so much trauma and so much pain, and she was so desperate. And to help know that and support that and ask the collectives to get everyone to release, there's been a few big impactful moments in my life, and that was a hard one because it was very strange, and a lot of emotions there. Super significant, super important. But as you know, Erin, you do these sessions and it just sounds like lots of words and hope, wishful thinking and hope that does something. But you've seen, and I think this is really important for your life lessons and what you wanted to explore, Erin, is seeing the proof of it, because it helps you with the faith and the trust of this information in these sessions. And they wanted you to build up your faith system that way versus just hearing it in sessions and kind of like, oh well, it was said so I have to trust it. They want you to see the proof. And so you're seeking out the proof, and you're getting the lots of proof, my friend, which I love. So you're using your free will and asking all the right questions to be given the definitive proof that you need to build yourself up. And I love that for you. So anyway, it's been a full-on journey, and then the stillness of knowing that Gaia is out of that pain was really noticeable. And then we got into this new feeling of there's something we need to protect of the body, and the whole journey of everything that goes on behind the scenes just feels so surreal. And it's
Yeah, understatement. How do you say surreal times 1,000?
Yeah. It's epic. Okay, we're running out of time, and I think we want to just sort of channel, because I wanted to know, and I had forgotten this, but this is what they want publicly. I think people are wanting to know this publicly as well. What is happening to those inner beings, inner Earth beings, now that the planet is not doing things, is not being completely destroyed? So yeah, it's I have such a fantastic excitement, and it's it's a new perspective of things. It just feels like everything's just beautifully falling into place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Okay, I'll connect in and see what they have to say. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, 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 yes. A million times we're here, we're here, we're here. We're so happy, we're so happy. This is why she is feeling so happy. We're feeling so happy. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It is so good. It is so good. We can't say that enough. It is so good. We are so happy. We are so good. We are so good. We have been able to do so much more than we ever anticipated. The experiences are so good and the lessons are so good. And this gives us so much joy, and it makes us feel like everything has been worth it. While we have seen the growth in small little steps, this is a very big stepping stone, and we are so proud of humanity. We are so proud of all who have chosen to step up, who are acknowledging and embracing the energies. Yes, we understand it was strange to be customized to it, and you had to be forced to do the inner work, and you have done such marvelous jobs, and we still support those who are struggling and resisting it, and we keep supporting you and supporting you and supporting you and supporting you, and you have still, to some degree, some of those resisted, and we just push back with more support, and you are not able to outrun our support, and you are not often able to just deny or distract yourself from the support we are trying to give you to up yourselves, to up your levels, to up your perceptions, to up your faith, to up your love of self, love of others. We have, it is like we have been given a new stepping stone ourselves to reach you. We have been given new directives ourselves to be able to be more influential. We cannot breach your free will, but as collectives, we have all agreed the level of free will that we can reach you has been changed, and this gives us great joy because we are more impactful. And this is so exciting for us because we're not breaching the free will contract. It's been all agreed upon that we can step up harder, firmer, give you more guidance. Of course, we do not want you to be stuck in trauma, and we will never let anyone be stuck in trauma because this is not the time for that now. This is the time for growth. This is the time for joy. This is the time for celebration. This is the time for liberation and freedom. And this is so good for us because we know it's so good for you. And it's always been for you. Always for you. To explore and be able to master this. And you've mastered it, and you are getting more advanced, and you're feeling like those speed wobbles are now in your past, and you're starting to pick up speed, so much so that we see you firmly holding onto the handle bike of your life, and you are in a spin class, and instead of saying, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to get off the bike, not only are you gripping the handlebars, you are saying, yes, 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 I want another hill, I want to go faster, I want to do this more. And it's like you're noticing the sounds of the room, of the spin class, and you are loving it, and you are just rushing forward, and with great strength. You're not exhausted anymore. You know that your body and your mindset can do this, and you've got this invigoration and this energy boost to do this, and you're looking forward and ahead. And we know that this is not a comfortable analogy for the vehicle because she doesn't like the gym or spin classes. So she's saying this is not motivational. But it is because you're embracing this now with not an analogy of the gym. You're embracing this now. You've mastered all of the information about the shift and the necessary steps forward to that. You can accept the old earth experience. You can have balance and profound inner peace with it. And this is why you can all embrace life now in its fullest grip. And it's like when you are holding a rose and you know there's a fragrance there, and you are just absorbing and you're inhaling the rose with your full lung capacity, because you do not want to miss an ounce of that essence of smell. And you're looking at that rose with full intent to see every single detail of that rose, because you know once you put that rose down, you will never be able to appreciate it and have gratitude for it and honor it. And this is what you're all doing. You're holding and embracing life in all details so much more tightly. You're not just flippantly living life and not noticing these things. You're all seeking out these intense little details to really seize the moment. This could be the last rose I ever smell. This could be the last rose I will ever see. And you're all not in this pity party, but you're all just taking every single moment as a gift. And you're not letting it slip away. You're focusing your intention on it. You're honoring the gift that you have. You're honoring the life cycle of that flower. You're embracing other people like that. Your own shift in attitude and perception has matured. And you can see those people that used to be those little cactuses in your life as now healed cactuses. You didn't have to heal them. They healed themselves. They stepped up. They matured. They took ownership of the times they pricked you. And we know that many are still waiting for those emails and those phone calls of apologies. And we know that many, it won't happen. But you must be able to release those people who were cactuses and send them love and healing on their own. It's not your responsibility to de-pluck a cactus and heal it and encourage it to grow. It's their responsibilities, and their teams have them on their watch, helping them flourish. So you can release those cactuses for once hurting you, because you now know the purposes of the growth and the empowerment of being pricked by those cactuses. Everyone had to have those cactuses in their lives to grow, and to use your moral compasses to know that you do not want to be a cactus yourself. And so you wanted to be something stronger and bolder and more with integrity. We are so happy. We just want to say that 1,000 times. We are so completely happy. We have so much joy for this. It is marvelous times. You must all feel very excited about the future ahead, because there is going to be fantastic changes, positive changes. And this is very, very, very exciting. Very exciting. Yes, the shift is still happening. Yes, you will still advance to a higher dimensional frequency. Yes, yes, yes. Those have not changed. But as you enjoy the way you notice others growing and stepping up and maturing and dropping the density of fear, dropping their worries, dropping their everything that has no longer served them to be more at a higher frequency of vibrations for their inner peace and journey, you will feel so excited and happy for them. And this is what you needed to see. You all needed to see growth, and it has taken much slower than what it should have, but things have been so extreme that there is nothing more but growth now, and a positive expansion rather than a density. So we know that the vehicle wanted to understand about the inner earth beings, and yes, as many have been helped be exited from this planet, those who were in a density that was not helpful or beneficial, because their own group of beings in the area were impacting too many. So we had to clear out. We want to say this, and it is we want to say that the body was the body of the planet, shall we say. Some of these beings under the surface were like an abscess energetically. We don't view them as being negative beings. We view them as having their own personal experiences for their life contracts here. And so, we see things from a bigger perspective. We will not be saying that they were naughty or bad. They were allowed to do what you're allowed to do, live, and have choices to live the way you want to do. With the societies that you live within, they have their own society structures. We did help evacuate. We did help assist them and move them off this planet. And we did that because they needed to be actually more, we want to say, actually it was like a breeding program, because they were getting smaller in numbers and they were kind of interbreeding. And for their own evolution, it was a problem. And so we helped assist them be able to go to different places, different planets, to be able to have more of an opportunity to breed with others and keep their line healthy and not interbred as such. And so, this was part of their this is what they were happy to be able to know, is that they could have what they already knew and could see, problems with interbreeding. And so they were open to having new genes in the mix of it. And so, this was part of our agreement to help support them, and this is why they allowed us to help them shift off. But you were not asking about this. You're asking about those who are high dimensional, who are helping humanity, who are not impacting humanity in negative, and actually from within raising the frequency vibration. Yes, they do know that there is an opportunity for them to stay, but they do not want to stay. They say that there is actually no need now to stay after humanity and all have been removed off the surface. They actually don't then feel like they are needed here. So they would actually like to shift as well. So they will not be going away with the planet while the planet is being refurbished, because their roles, what they perceived being here and significant here, is no longer needed. So they are saying, well, thank you very much for thinking of us. And yes, we are very much aware that there is an option for us, and we could have chosen to stay if we wanted to. But they even say that this is time for them to move on, and they've already made the agreements and plans when it wasn't going to be the case. And so now that they still had this now they were given this opportunity to have this option to stay, they actually realize that they're actually quite happy to move on. They have got other things to do, and they're quite excited about their new dimensions that they're going to be exploring, and their new opportunities and challenges and growth and services, and they want to catch up with other soul family members. So they've already packed their bags, shall we say, and they are very open to moving forward. And they say they're very helpful. They will stay until the very end of the old earth experience, for some who want to still support in some areas. So this is yes, they say thank you for your concern, but we've actually got it covered. So they just wanted to say all is well. They are doing what they want to do, and they are very happy with how they know things are going to evolve for this planet in a very short space of time.
Exciting. Well, do you have any final messages for us regarding any future events or just anything in general?
All is extremely well. While it has taken what you perceive a longer, slower rate to get to this point, everything has been a lot softer road. We know that people have felt very frustrated this year because it's been very hard, but look how much you've grown from it. And while we don't like to see you being triggered and frustrated, we know that when you can get over that frustration and being triggered, what do you gain from it? Empowerment, growth, higher perspective. And you're training yourselves to be more mature. And we have not just held back shifting just to force you to do this work, but we're not sorry that you've had to stay here longer, because the work you've done is really advanced and you'll be really proud of the growth. You should all be very proud of your growth. For those who have been able to step up and follow the journey of it, it is incredible. So many people have been activated at profound rates and levels. It's kind of shocked them even. We want to say that the collectives, when they come in and are asked to do certain things that is agreed upon, it happens. It absolutely happens. The results of these words are real. These physical reactions, there is physical changes, there is tangible evidence for this. So have hope, have trust. Your collectives are not mucking around. They're certainly not binge watching TV of gypsy weddings, Erin, and we say it's hysterical that you
busted.
But we're saying that this is a beautiful experience for you to have a fly on the wall experience of these lifestyles, because you are seeing life in a different way that you've never really considered before. You don't feel triggered that it's a different foreign culture, because the English is still English. You're understanding it to some degree, but you are marveled at the details of their lives, and you're seeing what you know that there is other cultures and other ways to live. But when you're seeing this through your own eyes, this program, you're now seeing the differences of many different many different societies and peer pressures. And you've normally felt comfortable binge watching, say, the desperate, or not the desperate wives, the housewives of certain areas around, which is abundance and luxury and ridiculous wealth, which has always made you sort of feel lack. And now you're watching the gypsy wives, the gypsy brides and their lives. You're not looking down upon them, but it's a new perspective for you to see how life and what's significant to certain people is. It's a new perspective for you to consider all, and you have already noticed how you are starting to appreciate your life even more. You already did, but you're seeing you're just seeing different worlds within this current world, and it's just feeding your moral compassion. Actually, that is what it is.
Yes, it is like a whole new set of eyeballs. So thank you for giving me the higher perspective in my 3D mind. Bless you guys. Thank you. And thank you for helping all of us expand our perspective on everything.
We try to help because we know that so many have been disconnected for various reasons. So this was a great opportunity for us to be able to connect in. We sort of feel like this is really a really unique connection, which we don't have with many. And so we are so excited when the free will to ask for our help is being done, because we sort of feel like we've found a loophole. And so this is why we're so responsive to the requests. Many who have tried don't have the right agenda and intentions, and it's very self-serving, and they don't see the bigger perspective of it, so it doesn't actually work out as they hope. So they We have a great connection, and it was life contracts, and it is purposeful, and this is an incredibly significant connection, which you already know, but we are confirming it to you again today. So we are always of service, and we have been enjoying learning how people respond to this information, because those who are listening and growing with this information, the more you spend keeping your mind and your listening ears to this high frequency information, you're actually training your minds to expand. While we are talking and talking and talking, you are keeping yourself at a high frequency level, listening to us. So you're using your own free will to expand your consciousness. And so you are not even aware, some of you, that you have grown hugely, and you didn't even feel like you actively asked to have this expansion. It just happened. And some of you have used your free will to allow us to give you profound activations, and we say thank you, thank you, thank you for letting us help you. We love that. We love that. This makes our jobs so much easier, and we would like our jobs to be so much easier, because when you are helping yourself, you instantly are helping others around you, and this gives us great joy.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Any other final comments for us?
The frog life is significant, and it was to see the graduation and the metamorphosis of the life cycle of the frog. And so it was to show people how it can transform, and it's very significant, the metamorphosis of the egg into the frog. And we have used the butterfly before as a metaphor, because it was, it's a very beautiful visual thing, and people love butterflies as a hope of angels and positivity and spiritualism. No one really wants to resonate with the life cycle of a frog. But the life cycle of a frog is incredibly important for those to see profound changes. And for those who were living around frogs, we want to sort of say not prehistoric times, but almost as the early man could see the changes of the frog, to be able to understand and kind of have faith and trust and understand how a baby would grow in the womb. And so this was a teachable cycle for those on the planet to understand the concept of physical evolution of when we say the sexual act has been successful in reproduction.
Is that symbolic for humanity is finishing up the life cycle here on 3D Earth and graduating? Is that, I'm not following, sorry.
The vehicle has been showing many frogs recently, and she was wondering what was the significance of it. And yes, it was it's a very good, for the creators of worlds, it's a very good example of a physical evolution. And so we want to say that the frogs are more older than, say, the butterfly systems. So the frogs are what you learn and train on, how to be able to use this template for it's significant, but it's for the vehicle. So we will continue on with that with her privately.
I love your breadcrumbs. I'm with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow, all is well, all is well. Feel excited, embrace it. All is well. Feel happy, embrace family, embrace yourselves. Love life. This is the time to love it.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Now I want to be like checking out, like, oh, how old are butterflies versus how old are frogs? What?
So that was confirmation of, are we done recording?
We can still record it if you want. I
Well, I
can.
mean, private, this is your private stuff, so I don't want to.
Well, I mean, well, we can talk about other stuff then. How did you feel about
Oh,
the information?
um, good because I mean, we were both, kind of like giddy and just like, I don't know, just really happy and just that, I don't know, just happy, just no reason why, just super happy. And that's because they're super happy and that makes me happy that they're happy. Like I get, it makes my heart heavy if I sense that they're under a lot of stress. So it makes me feel so optimistic and just thrilled that they're so positive.
So, that session with the creator was really important to hear that they try different ways to make things successful. If it fails, then they go back and redo it again. And that's just at, planetary level, and different species level. And we know from our many conversations with the collectives, they've tried many things. Remember the broadcast? It was the Palladians that wanted that broadcast to happen, and it was going to be one epic event all around the world, which was supposed to be, a gift to wake up humanity. And what they discovered was that it was going to be just way too intensive, way too shocking, and would have made people hysterical. Even though I asked in sessions, wouldn't this freak out people? And they're like, oh, it's going to be okay because they're going to be just happy that the information's out there. But it's like I could imagine people super reacting to it. I mean, last year, and it would have been over a year ago, the energy was quite dense even just a year
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Now,
Hmm.
I don't get
Big time. And you know what else? I think it's happening now. It's not happening that way, and that's for sure. But just listening to that influencer's video today, he was like, stuff is coming out. I am dripping stuff out. It's just pay attention. It's happening in front of your eyes. Pay attention. And there's been a lot of stuff come out today, a lot of drips. So I feel like November, it's going to be a big month, and I'm pretty optimistic about it.
Yeah, me too. I feel like it's a pretty exciting time. Pretty exciting time. And so I got a sense that the Palladians really wanted to jump on board with this broadcast last year, and the Turians were just like, this is going to not work for humanity because they've been observing humanity for so long. They're like, it's just not going to be the answer. But they allowed it to play out for the Palladians to see this would not have been the solution, which of course disappointed them because they desperately wanted it, because back then they just were so frustrated with how on earth are they going to raise their vibrations. And so it's really interesting. So now all of the collectives are involved in this, and it's kind of, I feel like the Palladians were those who had a lot of control over the planet and how things were going to go on, because it's more Palladian guides than not on this planet, for very significant reasons. And so I think this is when the Turians kind of came in and really, really wanted to help out more, and it wasn't doomed, and it wasn't deemed as a like fail. It was more like, this is a really advanced, complex planet with what's going on right now. And so I felt like the Palladians then kind of wanted and accepted more teamwork, and there was much more, because I think there was two collectives that were resistant, and so I think now there's much more cohesiveness to the goal. And it's really interesting how what goes on the other, like on those dimensional realms. It's very interesting. So I also agree that after the said broadcast was supposed to happen, I feel like lots of other information came out. So it is there. It absolutely is there. All the information has always been there. It's just people finding it and accepting it. But the thing is that people already know all this information, but they want it in a presentation that's like Netflix that, binge watch this series, or they want big announcements, they want it big. And I really feel like when you actually already know this stuff, do you really need that presentation? Do you really need the movie of it? So
Yeah. You
um
know what I think it is?
well
I'm sorry to interrupt. Um, I think it's been a very tense period of time, very divisive. And the people who found out the truth were like, damn it, I know the truth, and they were mocked for it. And, starting out in that journey, they were desperately seeking that validation that they were right. They're not an idiot and they're not crazy. But now, as this story has continued to unfold, um, those people that started out with the truther movement, shout out.
you've lost I've lost your sound, sorry. Erin's gone. I'm not too sure what's happened to Erin. Okay, so thanks everyone for listening. I hope that was insightful or helpful in some way. We're definitely working hard behind the scenes to make sure that we can help all that need help, and we're trying to be creative with our free will to see what else we can get for humanity at this time. Thank you for all the love and support that you have been able to give yourselves and to others. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. It gives me almost like happy tears to think how exciting life is right now. So much love to you and your family. And I'll talk to you guys later. And I'll post the part 2 in a day or two. It's so good, that session. You'll love it. Bye.